Maybe you really don't like to reading books like I am. I don't really like them too. And for me, I think that this is one of the most boring things that can ever exist in the life. And honestly, if you click on this video, you might think the same way like I'm thinking about. And a lot of people might say that, oh damn, I really like to read in the books and etc. stuff, but in reality, they don't really like that stuff. And in your case, you really prefer to watching a movie about the book, but not actually reading this book. And reading books is actually requires a lot of attention, unlike the videos or the movies that you see that. And honestly, our brain is made up from the little rewards that we really like to see all the time. And exactly in the movies or the social media, we see the instant image or the instant action that is happening in the story. And this actually making our brain feeling like we have an instant reward about something. And the other stuff is actually the wrong book or the wrong time. About the business books that we like selling a lot, it's actually have a little explaining about the everything. If you're reading this book and you don't really like the book that you're reading, it's actually about the time or the again mental health that you have, or even the mood. A lot of people like reading these business books just because they have a stories, and the stories about the founder or the writer of this book, and they like to compare something to themselves and to their lives as well. So as an example, we have the same action or the same decision that the author is making, and people have like the same decision or the same thing to do. Maybe they need to make a really big decision lately, and as we can see that the author of this book on his story, he also made this kind of decision. That's because they're making it interesting and they start reading and reading a lot. Maybe you have everything that you really wanted. So let me explain something. If you're reading the business books while you have like everything, you just don't understand the hustle and the effort that the main author is telling you. So likewise, he's telling you that he's made a really long path from the broke boy to the really rich millionaire, but in reality, you also kind of rich millionaire and you just don't understand what you can take from this book instead of the story. When they're telling you that you need to make this or this thing, it's actually, but in reality, you think that's kind of opposite thing that you need to do. And for you, it's making less interesting than the other stuff. And as well, kind of lack of connection. It's kind of with the same example like I told you previously, but kind of a little bit differently. Or maybe you don't really like to reading books, it's just because it requires you to stay on the time, on all the everything. And maybe you really don't like to read a book. It's because it requires you to stay in the focus. And I had the same problem before just because I didn't really like to stay in focus for the everything that is happening. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm start reading the books and I'm reading a book and it have like 300, 400 pages, which is not really a lot for the book, but for the newcomers, it's like really a lot of paper just to read and just to understand and stay in focus. And of course, you don't really like to do that, and you like start thinking, okay, why do I need to do that? Do I really need to do that? Or maybe there is some kind of another way to see this kind of story or see this kind of knowledge, to see YouTube video, or maybe there is a movie about this book. And that's why you decide to more watching the movies than reading the book. And this is more common problem for the people that have ADHD. Just because they can't stay on focus all the time, they need to do something. Maybe while they're reading books, they need to, I don't know, play Subway Surfer or just see the other stuff. And honestly, this is the problem for the majority of people right now. Because with all that social media problem that we have now, really a lot of people that have problem with the focus on reading something. But how you can do something just to start reading books? Like, let's take an example that you have all these problems and there is really only one solution to do that. Is just because, first of all, find a first book for you that's gonna fit your mood. And this is actually two simple solutions that can help you in fixing this problem. And the first one is kind of simple. All you need to do is just find a book that it's gonna fit on your mood or the time. Like you have a problem with the job, and so let me give you an example. Now you have a really lot of problems with the job and you just don't know how to do all the tasks and you just don't know how to make all the tasks just because you have them a lot. And for you, it's actually one book that's gonna help you. It's Eat That Frog. It's actually less than 100 pages and it can actually help you with that. And after that, you might see the interesting, it's actually less than 100 pages and actually helps you a lot with that. Or maybe another example, like now you have a problem with the money and you just don't know what to do in your life. You have like 5 or 6,000 saved and just you're broke as fuck. And for you, it's actually gonna help Rich Dad or Poor Dad just to understand how he managed to get out from the situation that he was in, so and how he was investing wasting all his money that he had or have right now. This is actually the main solution for that. All you need to do is just find the right book for you and for the right time that you have. And the second of all, just start reading. No matter what, just start reading 20 pages a day, 30 pages a day, or maybe 10 pages a day. That's actually gonna help you a lot. And you're gonna create kind of a stairs that gonna help you to achieve your goal, or maybe sometime after you start to understand that you can read the whole book for the one session. This actually the only two solutions that can actually help you in life in fixing this problem. But how to find all these books just to fit to your mood or the other stuff? Actually, in my Telegram channel, I made a post about that. You can visit this page and you will find the checklist with the books that gonna help you to find your book for now. And maybe if you still have a problem to finding it, there is some kind of a books that really just gonna help you. It's kind of more of the story that will help you to just to read it, just to find your focus and just to finish one book. I don't know, maybe in a month. And this is actually the only kind of a problems that people have, and this is why people feel boring to reading such a books. And all I wanted to say is that just reading them, and it might actually help you with the everything in life. And honestly, the more you read on a foreign language, it's more you start to know that language. And in all books you can find all the quotes that can actually help you to again achieve something. So thank you for watching this video. Hit the like button and leave the comment as well. Link to the Telegram channel you can find in the description. Thank you and bye.